There's a decision to be made with William Nylander, and I don't know if they're close on a deal or not close on a deal, but, what's your take on that? And, Hayes brought up a third option as far as, maybe you just go into the season and him playing on an expired contract if you don't feel the marketplace is proper on a trade.
Yeah, that would probably be option one would be to sign him to a deal that I guess the Leafs are okay with and that Nylander will be happy with. Option two, I suppose, is getting a great trade, but you're never going to get a player as good as William Nylander if you trade William Nylander. Right? Pierre-Luc Dubois is not as good as William Nylander, and the best player they got was Gabe Vilardi. And while Gabe Vilardi's good, he's not as good as Dubois. You're going to be, if the winner of the trade is the team that gets the best player, that's going to be the team that gets William Nylander in whatever deal they make. So, but you do have the option. You can take it in the season. You can sign him to an extension anytime you want. You can see how the year's going. You can kick the can down the road. But you do run the risk of souring William Nylander if you wanted to eventually re-sign him. Maybe he does great. The cap is booming, and it becomes harder to re-sign him, if you could imagine that. So it does come with a bit of risk if you do that. The problem is, if you're going to look at what William Nylander is worth as a percentage of the cap in today's market, with the cap going 87.5 to 92,
it's the Meyer deal.
It's Meyer, he's a better offensive player than Timo Meyer. He has been the last couple of years. So it's the Meyer deal. So it's whatever, $9 million, something like that for 7-8 years. Are the Leafs okay with that? Does that seem like a good idea? I don't know, but that's exactly right. That's the template. It's already been established.
Yeah, Johnny, we were talking about it. Dubois just got money, and I don't even anybody can come at me with different stats saying he's better. That's what's on the table as far as I would be concerned. Dubois, Meyer money, or we got to look to do something else because, sorry, man, you're not in your own universe where you think you just get whatever. They've already played that game.
Yeah. Well, he would say quickly, Pierre-Luc Dubois, a center, physical, different. Career high in points is 63. He's never had 30. William just had 40 and 87 points.
No, I get it, Johnny. You can come at me with anything you want, but I would just say...
I don't care. This is what it is. Right. But your marketplace is established. Take the 8.8, 8.75, whatever it is, and be happy with it, and be happy that you're playing a great team with other players that deflect some of the scrutiny that you might receive if you were the lead dog on a team.
Very simple.
And, you're that's a number. It will come. Yeah. If he does a contract, it will come around that number between 8.75 and 9.
Hazy thinks he could rinse me on a trade.
No. What we were talking about is the.
Please tell me.
What we were talking about.
I was like, you got to move on and make a deal. And Hayes was like, you can't get fleeced. And I said, if I was a GM, I wouldn't get fleeced. And Hazy said, I would fleece you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
that's straight fact.
I think the biggest thing we were talking about, Johnny, is if there's that big, William's allowed to ask for whatever he wants. But if he's asking, mid-tens, double digits type of thing, and you are at, we'll say 9. Let's just round down, round up, whatever you want. If you're at 9 and you're $1.5 million to $2 million apart, and you can't come to an agreement, now you have to look at options. And one of the options, I guess, what Hayes brought to the table was your third option is let him play it out. But again, do you let him walk or do you revisit it during the season and maybe at the deadline? Because there might be other scenarios throughout the league based on, I look at Calgary, for example. Is Lindholm going to be able to get done right before the season? Hannafin. There are other teams that are going to be going through the same scenario other than just William Nylander and the Leafs.
Yeah, it buys you time, right?
Right.
Maybe other options open up as time elapses. Other teams, other suitors. Maybe your season's not going as well as it is. Maybe your season's going great next year. And listen, we're going to roll the dice. And if he leaves and we take a run of the cup, then he leaves as we take a run of the cup. These are all things that they would be considering. It's amazing, how much. It's funny as I'm, watching this week's worth of transaction, guys, and the trends that are popping out. One, of course, being you can never let a good player start playing on the last year of his contract. You have to have a contract done with a guy basically in the summer before he starts the last year of his deal. That's a new, and maybe it's a function of Matthew Tkachuk asking out. That's all I spurred it for. But like that sentiment is so prevailing now. It's a new thing.